Afternoon, everyone. I am Dana Leuenberger for Los Cabos Home and Life, and welcome to another episode of our program. Today we have as guest Justo Couto, spokesman for El Tezal City Council, Alan Humphrey, president of El Tezal City Council. Hello. Beatriz Mejia has some events that she will be sharing with us. So I'm very happy to be here with all of you. We have some topics that we are going to talk about, and this is a big priority. We have had a lot of accidents in the highway, and we all need to come together and find a solution. That's why we're here. That's why we give this came first today. Our community comes first. We want to hear your opinions. Please join us on Radio Diferente online or in Facebook, so you can give us also your feedback. It's really important that we all come together and do this. So first, we're going to do some information. Since we're a real estate show, as you know, we were going to have our friend Greg Scott, and he couldn't come today, but we want to share his information. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, February 6th, we are having a caravan that will start at 8:30 a.m. at the Sam's Club, and then this caravan will drive to Casa del Mar, and we have around, let me check, it's 9 listings that a group of real estate agents we are going to follow. It's going to be Casa del Mar, Caracol, 303. That's Consuelo Galindo, Los Cabos agents listing. Imna Estates, Bugambilia, presented by Michael Nicole from Cabo for Sale. Casa Bugambilia, that's represented by Abril Pola from Century 21. Casa Hacienda, that's my listing. That's in Rancho Paraíso, beautiful listing. We just had a price reduction on that. Casa Magnolia by Geraldine Meltman. That's also a new listing in Rancho Paraíso. Casa James, presented by Greg Scott for Cabo for Sale. That also, we have a condo, Oceana, by Suburisma and Baja Properties. And Casa Vistas, also by Gregorio. So this is a new initiative that agents are doing. And so if you guys can join us, it's going to be good. We need to be very organized because it's going to be a long day, and we're a lot of agents. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to go with Beatriz. You have some events coming up?
Yes, thank you for having me, Dana.
You're
It's a pleasure to be here with you. I normally have a radio show in Spanish, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. But so I'm going to tell you the events that we have here in Los Cabos. So tomorrow night at Don Sanchez restaurant in San Jose del Cabo, they're going to have a flamenco night. This is to benefit Liga Max, which is a foundation here locally. So you're more than welcome to come and join them. And also for those who wants to have like a huge party, you have to go to the Blue Marlin Ibiza. That's at the Mi Cabo Hotel. They have a pool party. And then the super DJ, Paul Oakenfold, this is the third time that he comes to our destination because the people loves him. So they always throw out a great party. So it's a pool party Saturday starting at 12 noon until 7 p.m.
Perfect.
Okay, and then we're going to have here in the destination in Comal restaurant by Chileno, Chef Daniel Burns. He is a chef who earned a Michelin star. He's from New York, and he wrote a book called Food and Beer. So he is the creator of a restaurant and bar that it's located in Brooklyn. It's called Torst and Lursk. And what is important and interesting about this place is that it's one of the first restaurants where they started to do beer pairing instead of wine. All the menu goes with beer, so you can find craft beer there or from the bottle. And so he's going to be here at the destination, and they're going to cook together with Chef Ivan Mucharras from Comal. They are organizing a Taco Beach party. That's Saturday starting at 7 until 10 p.m. And also there's going to be, for those taco lovers, there is another Taco Tuesday at Casa Calavera with Casa Dragones. Casa Dragones is a tequila. And so our dear friend Osvaldo, which is a mixologist, he's going to be there. He's not going to be cooking tacos like I did, but he's going to be preparing amazing cocktails for all of you. And for those who taste those cocktails, all of that money will benefit a local foundation as well. So it's for a good cause, and you will have tons of fun. And of course, Valentine's is almost here.
It is.
So we have a lot of options. You can either go to Flora Farm, go to Pitaya's restaurant, to Cocina del Mar de Esperanza. Solaz Hotel, it's putting up 3 events throughout the week, starting February 14. They're going to have 6 different chefs that they're going to cook there for you. It's a 6-course dinner. Also, the following day, they're going to have more. Well, the first night is more like a romantic, to go just with your loved one. But the following day, the 15th, it's more like for friends. So it's like a relaxed ambience. It's going to be at the beach, more like grill. And that's happening at Solaz. And a very cute event for single ones, because I know it's the month of love, but also singles are included. So there's going to be a great party at Omnia, February 15. Single ladies who show up wearing a red bathing suit or a bikini, you guys will going to get free drinks. And it's going to be super cool at Omnia.
It has to be single women.
It has
not
to be
married women
not
with
married,
bikinis.
No, single ladies on a red bikini. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just wear another bikini.
Just wear another bikini.
Pay for the drinks,
Yeah.
right?
Or bring your own money.
Oh, well, that
But
too.
it's just like, it's an idea like to have fun. And I think those are cute ideas to do something different. Just like to spend a good weekend here. And of course, now that we're going to talk about all of these accidents, please, please, please always be responsible. I know that we promote all kinds of events. Most of them involved an open bar, or you have a tasting menu with beer, with mezcal, whatever. Always have someone who is not drinking, who is the person who's going to drive you back home. And so let's just take care of each other here in our beautiful destination.
A designator driver. We have Uber, call a cab, call a friend. Yeah, that's much better. And also, you mentioned Solaz. Solaz gave a donation for Gente Joven. Last week we were there with Ona Ash, and so yeah, support them, because they support our community too. And this is what it's all about.
It's a new hotel. They've been open for 6-7 months. So the idea is to help the community and to be part of it.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful, gorgeous place. All right, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna start talking about this thing that has been worried us so much about the Carretera Transpeninsular. All these accidents is just like one after another, and people losing their lives, and it's just unbearable.
Yes, I'm afraid that it's peaking right now. It got to a point where so many cars, so many trucks, so many buses, and every single vehicle has to go through that only road, and then all the factors you have to add to that. I think that we're very good at coming up with the diagnosis of what's going on. But the problem is that sitting down and talking about it's not going to solve it. So what we did as a council, by the way, it's citizen council. The city council is the municipality. We're citizen council, and precisely the idea of having a citizen council is to help them, the actual city council and the municipality, and then also the state authorities and federal authorities. We help them make decisions, by providing our input, at least in our area, in the Tezal area. So going back to the diagnosis and what the problem is, it's pretty obvious what's going on. We are driving too fast because the maximum speed is still 90 kilometers per hour in a road that has no conditions for people to drive exactly in a high speed, right? And What this means is in order to drive at 90 kilometers per hour, you need a lane to stop if your car breaks down. You need to trust that a horse is not going to come, across, which 4 times happened last year.
Okay.
A deer just crossed the road the other night and in the middle of a big accident.
Yeah.
So in order to have a 90 kilometer per hour road working properly, you need to provide several different specifications, right? We don't have that. In our 3 kilometers, where we have side roads, where we have church, college, university, schools, Walmart, Costco, hotels, we cannot be driving this fast anymore. It's a wrong approach. We need to recognize that there's at least 4 crosses of numerous amounts of people that are being not only disrespected, but they're being ignored. And those people have rights. You have the right to go across the highway without risking your life. And the problem is that the way it sits right now, legally, if they get hit by a car, it's their own fault, And I think this is actually inhumane. That would be my approach to it. But I mean, we can talk about that more. But it's just wrong. It cannot go on. That needs to be changed. The ones that are safely driving inside the car need to be the ones with the responsibility to take care of those that are walking outside. And that's just everywhere.
And also, well, in the meantime, that this problem gets solved, because in the 80s and the 90s, well, there was not as much traffic as we have now, and we will have more traffic as the city continues to grow. So,
oh yeah, it's only going to get worse.
It's going to get worse, and more
Unless
accidents and
so.
more fatalities are going to happen. So, is it going to change? Is it going to be like now, like a boulevard, that we have a city like lights or something?
Yes, we are proposing that, number one, as of today, we start driving slower. We go from 90 kilometers per hour, that is supposed to be, the speed, we go down to 60 kilometers per hour at least. And because the problem with 90 kilometers per hour is that even that speed is not respected.
That's correct.
Right? If at least we would drive at 90, but no more, it wouldn't be as bad. Obviously, most of the accidents on the highway happen because people are driving faster than the speed limit, right? So that needs to stop. That needs to change. That's one thing. We're proposing, and for this, we have 3 levels of solutions, right? You need to have a quick response, immediate things that need to happen, and then you have the short and medium and long term. So what we're talking about, having a boulevard and having the municipality take this part of the highway as municipal roads, that would be more like mid to long-term solutions. We need something that stops the incidents today. And actually, we started yesterday, and we are very proud and very satisfied to see that Protección Civil, civil protection.
Yeah, you had a meeting with them, so.
Yes, well, actually, the municipality is doing a great job, and I think that it needs to be recognized that from the mayor all the way to the coordinator of civil protection in the delegation of Cabo, Hubert,
Okay.
everybody's doing their job. They have their eyes not only on our area, but on the whole road, the whole highway, and we are seeing results. After these meetings that we've been having with Protección Civil, they called, obviously they know it's not them who will impose the sanctions or the measures for things to change, but they know who to call.
Okay. We're just going to go for a break, and then we'll be right back with
Absolutely,
that topic.
yeah, we'll
Thank
come
you.
back with the results of the meeting.
Perfect.
Discover the latest trends friends that Puerto Paraíso Entertainment Mall has for you and your family. Pamper yourself with the best brands in footwear, jewelry, clothing, swimwear, makeup, and perfumery. Enjoy the beautiful view of the marina while you dine at one of our many restaurant options and live the big premieres and discover the magic of cinema. Follow us on Facebook and find out about our events, promotions, and gifts. Plaza Puerto Paraíso, in the heart of Cabos San Lucas. Every day, all year round, Plaza Puerto Paraíso makes me happy.
Okay, and we're back. So you were mentioning about that we were back. You were mentioning about your meeting that you had yesterday with the authorities.
Yes, it was a very productive meeting. You see, when it started, it was very much like all the other meetings that you go with authorities and officials, and then they start, providing their inputs. And number one, they explain what is it that they do, and then they pretty much start covering the aspects that other authorities or the citizens should be doing, right? And that's how it started. We were listening to some of them say, hey, it's the population that needs to be more conscious and needs to do this and do that. And what we decided is, why don't we start doing things differently? The council has been doing things differently for the last 2 years. I propose that from now on, when we talk about the people not doing what we should, why don't you let us talk about that? Because when you say it, and as true as it may be, it just doesn't have the same result. It sounds like you are not being responsible for your, what you're supposed to be doing.
So to clarify that is like when people go on the chats and they should be doing this and should be doing that. So just their thoughts to canalize them to you.
Honestly, the ones that are doing things wrong, it's us. We are the ones chatting. We are the ones speeding. When I say we, I mean all of us, population, people that drive there. We are the ones that are doing that wrong. And then it's just ridiculous how we come to the point where we are asking for the authorities to be harsher with sanctions. And why aren't you hitting me for not doing this, Daddy? Hey,
I understand what you're saying.
We're behaving like kids. We need to be a mature and responsible citizen and take matters into my own hands and work with my family, my kids, and tell them what we should be doing. But then the next thing that we propose is, why don't you, instead of pointing out what other people should be doing, why don't you tell us what you can do?
Exactly.
And then this meeting switched to a completely different thing. It was actually fun to watch, and it was very, I don't know, I was surprised to see how it became like an art auction when they were, putting in bids, who was going to do more. You see? And then you had the federal police that were saying, okay, we're going to bring 2 police cars and they're going to start working today.
From La Sanluqueña to the...
At least in our, probably the whole road, I don't know. We were discussing Tezal.
It has to start from somewhere, right? And you guys are putting the time and the hour because you have been very proactive. And this is one of the things. The other day I was, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to jump in and mention this, that the other day I was in a reunion and people were saying, oh, the authorities should be doing that and this and that. And by coincidence, I run into one of those persons saying that. They were going too fast, no blinkers on, and on their cell phone.
We can always complain,
it's really easy, but it's up to us. If everybody starts making that conscience change, and it's just so simple. It is very simple. And then we can say, okay, you guys come and do this and do that. I mean, even you can just get a video, like right now with I know we should not be using our devices, but if somebody is going like crazy and you have a passenger, ask them to take a video, put it on. Like in a company's vehicle.
As citizens, we have a vast array of different options that we can do. But to cover again what happened in this table yesterday, we had another authority that was part of the federal police that came from La Paz. He's gonna start this week with what they called I'm trying to think of the word in Spanish, but it's an audit, a road safety audit for this particular part of the road. And that's a big thing. That's huge because from that study, you get information such as what the speed limit should be and what the investments should be made in that area to make it safer. It's a big thing. It didn't look like much, but it's very, very big. And then Civil Protection said, okay, I'm gonna send in my truck as well. And the police department, same thing. Everybody on the table was coming up with or was offering what they will start doing that same day. And then, not surprisingly, it was the first day without accidents in that park. Of course, we had an incident last night, after midnight.
Okay.
There's always going to be a crazy person that's drunk or whatever, or even a genuine incident could happen, right? But we need to stop this, and I think we're on the right path to do it. And then this is just to show how if you challenge people to do things differently and you give them the right motivation, we are all good people. We all want the same. We all want our families to be happy, to be safe.
We all want to come home
Right.
in one piece and
Correct,
safe.
No? So when we launched this challenge, the Blinkers On Challenge or Tezal Challenge, we found out that it goes beyond warning everybody around you, which is probably the main idea. But when you're driving and you put your blinkers on, then you don't allow yourself to text. You watch your speed. You see, it goes within. So the Tezal Challenge, one thing that is probably becoming even more important now is how it helps to make people conscious that they are in danger and they are part of the solution. It also makes it visible for, when you see 20, 30 cars with their blinkers on, and that's going to happen soon. I know it's not happening today.
I really hope it does.
But it will. Then the federal authorities will be watching, hey, citizens are doing something. It's a way to show your concern.
Raise our voice with our hazard,
without stopping the traffic.
with our hazard lights or our blinkers, how we call it.
The solution, we have the solution in our hands. It's like you said, it's so easy. All I have to do is stop using my phone while I'm driving. Because when I'm driving, I'm driving. That's all I have to do. I read many years ago that there's no message and there's no call more important than your own life. So nobody's texting you, calling you, or sending you, or you get notifications out of Instagram, Twitter. That's not important. It will stay there. What could it be? 3 likes on your last picture?
That's not important.
It's not important. We are not such an important person in this world that somebody sends me a text message and I have to read it right away before I put attention on what I'm doing, which is driving. So, nobody gets such an important message.
Yeah.
More important than your life or someone else's life.
Also, you are putting in danger a lot of people around you. It's not just your life. It's your community that you're putting in that danger.
Exactly. It's awareness, no?
Yeah.
That's what we're pursuing.
Radio Diferente has a commercial that it is so true and like so powerful when it says like you leave your home at this time and then you get on your car and it's just like detail. It's in Spanish. We're going to have it in English. I'm going to ask Jonas if we can do that. Del comercial tan bonito. And then it says at this time you got a text message saying I love you, and next minute you're dead. It's that tragic.
A fraction of a second for an accident to happen. And with that accident, everything will change. Not just, like you're saying, not just your life, but everybody else's life.
And you know what? We all know that. It's not like, rocket science. No, you're just discovering a new concept. No. The problem is that when we are in that moment driving, we're getting the wrong signals. We're getting the wrong motivation. When you get a new text, your brain segregates these chemicals that make you happy, and so you go for your drug, but then you're driving. So we need to raise this awareness, and I'm sure that this challenge, when we get to the point where we want it, because you see, we are even calling every single day, we're making phone calls to transportadoras, no? For instance, people that drive there 5, 7, 10 times a day, tour companies. It's not just going to be the people who drive there, the private people. We're also going to have companies that are going to come on board the campaign, and we're gonna have our Facebook page for Tezal Challenge, and you're going to start seeing the logos of the companies that are joining in on the effort. And you will see also the authorities are joining in on the effort, because it can be done. It's being done. We're basically right now we're just asking people to join us. Start using your blinkers. You will feel safer. It's incredible. Yesterday, I was coming back home, and I drive with my blinkers on at 60 kilometers per hour, feeling kind of weird and so on. And then I saw the Tezal patrol go by. Then I saw the federal patrol go by. And then I started seeing 3, 4, 5 different cars with their blinkers on. This was the high traffic area, time of the night. And I started feeling safe. I was feeling within a community that's concerned. It was such a warm feeling. And I invite you all to join in on that.
We are such a small community in Cabo. I always say that there's only 3 people living here because we all know each other.
We do.
So, it's like if I don't pay attention, I'm sure that I know the person that I'm going to have, that I'm going to ruin their life. Because we all know each other. It's such a small community that if I have an accident, it will be with you or with your daughter, with your mom, with someone that I know. And I think that's even bigger. I don't know.
It's true. And we all know at least one person that was involved in an accident on the way.
That's correct.
At least one person.
And now with social media, like if you know of somebody that passed away in an accident, then 26 other friends mutual friends.
We're all connected.
We're all connected. And I don't know about you, but I'm at home and it's 7:00, and for some reason my husband is not home. I hear those sirens, and I'm on the phone calling him. Like, are you okay? Yeah. It's just that feeling. It's so horrible.
And we're learning to live with that. Why don't we instead of just giving in on to the circumstance, why don't we just do something about it? And here's the initiative. It was Alan's idea. Hey, turn the blinkers on.
I thought that was a great idea.
It's a great idea. And, it's going to make a difference. If everybody, you pass it on and you see, it's a structure of giving permission. People don't do it many times because they feel ashamed, because they, what's the other people going to think about me? You don't allow yourself.
What is people going to think about you? That you care.
That's the idea,
that you are taking control. It's not as easy. It's not the same as just being at home, comfortable, and texting. And I hope you're not doing that when you're driving and saying like, this should be done and that should be done. Okay, but what are you doing? And we go back to what we have been saying, like what is people doing? And I want to tell you that from the bottom of my heart, I can't express enough thank you for you guys, because you have taken action. What you have organized, the council, the citizens, El Tezal Citizens Council.
Yes.
How many hours do you invest? Hours that it's taken out of your own personal business, recreation time, very important, family time.
Yes.
So you should not be alone there. That's why I feel so passionate about getting involved, and I know that our radio station, Radio Diferente, is also in a very strong campaign to do that.
Right. Well, it's true. The media is actually a big part of promoting this, and it's a big part of communicating that something can be done, and just be specific. You see, right now we are going from the Tezal Challenge hashtag to the next step. Our next hashtag is change your habits. Okay, we need to move to action, and we need to start changing the habit of, running late all the time. We're always running late.
Oh, yeah.
We are used to a small city. City's getting bigger. It takes longer to get from point A to point B. That's why when we can, we're speeding. So change your habits. Get up earlier, or whatever it takes. Change your habits. Be courteous. Cabo used to be this fantastic community where everybody would stop and let the other one go. You see, and this, for us Mexicans that came from other areas of the country, it was refreshing, right?
And
we're losing that.
we live from the tourism. You go downtown by the marina, and I see a lot of transportation vehicles. They don't stop for tourists. You go like, really? Even where it's marked, I'm not saying that they're just crossing whatever. Even where it's marked
Yeah.
to cross,
That's
it's
just
like,
ridiculous, no?
you go like, they won't come back.
So, we're calling the artist community. We need to bring together the artist community of Tezal, and I hope that some of you are listening. We want to do an urban intervention within Tezal. We already have the approval of some of the officials, and whatever it takes, we can do the paperwork and the stuff. What we want to do is do reverse graffiti on the roads.
Oh,
And all you need is a power wash
yeah?
and a stencil. And then you can start communicating all kinds of messages within Tezal. Of course, it requires a paved road, which we don't have many.
But we will.
Whatever we got. And then I know that the artist community will come up with new ways to communicate. And, the culture and the art is completely absent in our streets and in our area. And I know there's some really, really important artists over there in Tezal and the city. Hey, please join us, find us on the Facebook. I'm going to start the Facebook page, Tezal Challenge, today. You can just look it up there at Facebook. And we want to do this intervention shortly. And I know it will start raising consciousness.
Perfect. So we will direct from our pages to that page so it gets more traffic.
Okay.
We have a comment from Enrique Rivera Mendoza. Hello, Enrique. He's a very good friend
Enrique.
of ours. It requires a great effort to raise awareness and create a defensive driving culture. Many times in the city, we have people driving even without a license and sometimes have no idea of single meaning of a signal meaning. Great work for part of the awareness, success 100%, and then a little cool face. Thank you,
Thank you.
Enrique.
Gracias.
That's another thing. It's so easy to get a license here. Why can't we make it that harder, tougher, right? Insurance.
Yep. Well, they're working on it. One of the things, again, part of the meeting yesterday, and I'm sorry I wasn't thorough. We had a member of the city council who is also the president of the Commission of Mobility and Transportation, and also civil protection.
Civil protection, yeah.
And what a fantastic person! He's an executive. He made, right as he came in, he made a directory of all of us, and he made the minute and the agreements and put them on paper. And then when it was his turn, he said, "I'm going to work within the municipality to review the rules and regulations so that we get higher sanctions for who's using the cell phone. We're going to look into who and how and when we provide the driving licenses." And the guy is spot on and working on it. So that's why I'm saying the municipality is really, in different levels. You have the city council, you have Protección Civil from the delegation, from the municipality, and then you have the mayor, the police department,
yeah,
and the mayor. They're all working together on this. They're focusing, I think, quite effectively.
Perfect. Also, like the people crossing the border, and maybe we're going to go to a break. Vamos a ir a un corte comercial, and then we'll talk about the people crossing.
Órale, muy bien.
Discover the latest trends that Puerto Paraíso Entertainment Mall has for you and your family. Pamper yourself with the best brands in footwear, jewelry, clothing, swimwear, makeup, and perfumery. Enjoy the beautiful view of the marina while you dine at one of our many restaurant options and live the big premieres and discover the magic of cinema. Follow us on Facebook and find out about our events, promotions, and gifts. Plaza Puerto Paraíso, in the heart of Cabos San Lucas. Every day, all year round, Plaza Puerto Paraíso makes me happy.
Okay, we're back with this very important topic, safety on the Transpeninsular. We have a chat, it's called Cabo Talk, hashtag #AskDana, and very lovely lady sent us this message. She said, people, her name is Alma Haas. She says, people seriously walk across slowly on the curve. Sorry, I'm getting in call. On the curve by Costco. They cannot judge how close you are or how quickly they can get across. They run out in front of me all the time. I have to brake hard, and it's bad at night. Bridges and underground passes would work, but they have to use them. Also, people are on their phones looking down while texting and don't see if anyone is braking or switching lanes. It is so scary. People just need to put their phones down. We agree with you, Alma. I agree with the transport cars and taxis coming soon so fast. They don't care about anyone on the roads. They cut you off and tell you, and if you're not going fast enough for them, they just are rude. So this is kind of funny. I used to drive this Honda Pilot, like soccer mom car. And oh my God, would I get those people do the change of lights, and they would get on my tail. Now I changed to a big black Tahoe. Stopped happening. They don't know they don't know this is just me behind the wheel, right? They think it's like a big macho guy.
Oh, that's an interesting idea, like.
I just noticed the difference. They would bully me on the road, those taxi drivers.
Yeah. It's a shame, we have lost that flair, a small town flair, and how courteous we used to be. And we can just recover it. We just need to be, again, aware of what we are doing, where we are going, and what we want to change. Like Alan was just mentioning, the problems with the crossings on the highway, it depends on which table you sit. You will hear different solutions. But always, we face solutions from a driver's standpoint.
And not the pedestrian.
And never the pedestrian. And you know what? If you've ever tried to cross that highway, you know what fear means, and you know what vulnerability means. We should start thinking of the problem from that vulnerable standpoint. It's not bridges. Have you seen the bridge on the highway to go to Walmart? Yeah, they very nicely and intelligently built a bridge where pedestrians can climb. But if you see the amount of steps that they have to go, like 4 or 5 stories high, to cross 20 meters and come back down, and they may have a purse or a bag or the supermarket groceries. Really? That's the solution? I mean, really?
So
are we thinking?
Building more bridges?
Building bridges is always a first, thought, but then the problem is if you don't make a bridge that's smart enough, and you make it too high or too far away, if you were the pedestrian, you would never use it, right? So it needs to be sensible. It needs to make sense. And then again, we keep our minds on. Let's still find ways to drive fast. Honestly, the urban solution is slow down. That's what needs to happen. When you go into downtown, you don't want to drive at 90 kilometers per hour. You just can't.
Exactly,
because you're in the city. You have pedestrians. Same thing with Tezal. We have pedestrians, and we have these fluxes of people, hundreds of people coming across. We need to think of them because, in an ideal world, those would be us doing more walking and less driving. We would like to go to Costco walking.
Oh, I would love to.
We would like to go to the bookstore and read a book and go to the coffee store next door, which, by the way, have been very supportive with our projects.
Thank you.
So we are not doing any social urban life because we have a highway that has been in a very stubborn way maintained there, a fast highway within an urban community. You see, that's why I promote thinking more like pedestrians, like citizens, and not like drivers that just want to get from point A to point B as fast as we can without considering other people around. This is part of what we're promoting. You see, this is something very important. We need to be less egotistic, and we need to be more community-oriented. And I'm going to let you guys talk.
No, exactly. And you know what? It is a little bit frustrated because we would like to have the results right away. And I don't know, sometimes you guys, but it does really affect me. Like there's a lot of things that happens, and you want your community to be a part of community. I love what you said about bringing the artist community and doing the graffiti.
Yep.
In Tijuana, they did that under the bridges, and they just had like the best artists in town, and they did like murals, and that really helped with the image of the city, and that's a great idea.
Before people get scared,
Start yelling about.
my proposal is reverse graffiti.
Yeah.
It's temporary,
Okay.
and it's just removing the dirt
On
from
the
a,
roads.
from a part of the, you make the sign with cleanliness, and then when it rains or when it gets dirty again, it just erases itself.
Okay.
So don't be afraid of us painting graffitis all over Tezal because people are gonna freak out.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, this is a very friendly start. Maybe later we can
But maybe that's part
We
of
can bring Banksy.
what it's called. Is there like it's called? I think it's a window effect. Like if you see a clean area, then you behave better, just because that area it's cleaner and it looks safer. So I will keep it safe. But if I have to drive through a neighborhood that it's all dirty and
Dark.
graffiti and dark, I go like, well, I don't care. Like nobody's taking care of this place. But if it looks like it's clean and well taken care, I will do the same. Also, another thing that I would like to mention is there are so many apps now for your phone. I mean, we spend 20,000 pesos on one phone.
More.
That it can, or even more. That it can, like when you drive, you won't get calls, you won't get text messages, no notifications. I use that, and even when I go to Costco and I put my purse on the car, it stops sending everything because it detects motion. And so if you have an iPhone, I have an iPhone, that's what I do. It's in there. You don't have to buy it. It's part of your phone. So you have the solution
That's pretty
there.
cool.
Yeah, you need
And
to
it
give us a
takes-
tutorial about that. That's really
That's super
And it
cool.
only takes, I was talking this morning with Jason from the fire department. He was saying it only takes 13 minutes to get from San Jose to Cabo San Lucas, but at 100 kilometers per hour. But if you go to 60, 70, it will take only 5 more minutes. So it only takes 15 minutes to drive from Cabo to San Jose. So I don't believe that you cannot have 15 minutes or that you cannot be without your phone for 15 minutes. I mean, if you are a business owner, if you are not able to leave your employees 15 minutes alone and do your thing, you're doing things super wrong. If you have a family and they cannot take care of themselves for 15 minutes without you, you're doing something very wrong.
But you just said something about the phone. I have clients that they own huge companies, and how they even administer the time on their cell phone. They answer every email right away, but they're not wasting a lot of time like on chit chat or like.
It's like yes, no, do this, do that.
Yeah, you can do
instead
that
of-
when you're at home instead of watching TV. You can watch. We have a couple of comments. Flor Martinez Alvarez: people without legal car plates, license, and insurance. ... That's what she said. That I know that's
course.
another thing. And Soraya Honsingloy, Great topic, and glad it's in English. A lot of foreigners are on the phones and speeding in rented cars. You're so right. That happens too.
And that's we need to bring aboard of the project the rental companies, and that's part of the program. When you have Hertz or National, I'm sorry, I'm going commercial
No,
here.
you can do that.
But,
You can do that here.
And they promote road safety actively, especially on these challenges, because I'm sure challenges are going to pop up. Today, when I was working with one of the executives of Terramar, for example, Gaby Pimentel, by the way, saludos.
Hola, Gaby.
Very, very smart lady. And she's the one that came up with the idea, why don't we start promoting this idea for other challenges? And then she came up with other spots where it could be promoted. Then another friend that I called, he said, why don't we do the Los Cabos challenge?
I like
You see,
that.
it's got no limit. We just need to start small, focus, get the right people on board, and again commit ourselves. That would be the word. We just need to commit to a better city, to a safer road, become better citizens. Other countries have done it. I don't know how they started, but this is the way I think we can start. It worked.
Yeah, well, but by you guys caring, and I can't emphasize on this enough, by you guys caring, you have started all of this. Like I've mentioned, also Radio Diferente is a very strong campaign.
Yeah, thank you.
It's always been.
Good job.
Yeah, so we're all coming together to find a solution, and I know people will start listening. So I will ask everybody just to share on their Facebooks and
pass it on.
Also, this morning, yesterday, I was thinking about somebody that I saw driving very responsibly yesterday, and I see how she posted a bunch of stuff like yoga, and I love yoga, by the way, but like very motivational things, but how she was driving was telling me she's a different person than what she appears.
When she drives.
When
See,
she
I think
drives.
when we get behind the wheel.
So it's kind of like, tell me
It's
how you drive, and
transformational.
I'll tell you how you are.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I put that this morning.
Yeah, that's correct. At least when you're driving. Again, something happens to human beings when we get behind a machine,
Okay.
and something happens to us when we get messages and when we get likes.
Yeah,
We are-
but like you
we- yeah.
need to pay attention to that right
Yeah.
away. So why don't we switch that attention to a
To the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
dummy message and pay attention to the road. Don't pay attention to the road. Pay attention to your life. Let's start
There
with
you go.
that. Forget about others. Let's be
Conscious about our own lives.
Just take care of yourself.
Okay.
That's all we have to do.
We have 5 minutes before our program is over, so we have to start doing the final comments.
Sure.
So anything that you would like
Well,
to
I think we've gone
emphasize?
over the hashtag Tezal Challenge enough. Please help us share, spread the word. And also wanted to mention that we are still working on our main goal, which is to have the specific plan, urban plan for Tezal. That is moving on along well. We are in the works now with the city council, precisely, with getting the funds for such project, because they're obviously expensive studies and so on that are required. But it's coming along, and we are confident that we will get the support from the municipal authorities to get our urban plan for Tezal soon. In the meantime, we would like to propose that developers try to not make changes to the current plan, because
Thank you. Yes.
we need to ensure that at least what right now is the current law, the current plan, we need to make sure that one is not changed. That one is respected, let's say, enforced.
Okay.
Okay?
Because in Astana, I get a lot of text messages about people are very worried in Altazal because of the height restrictions. And there's buildings that now we're going to have a 6-story building in front of homes. Your property automatically goes down in value.
That's one of the saddest parts of our job, trying to protect the common property and the common well.
Because when people were
Common
buying,
good.
and this is another subject, and we'll have an hour about also this one,
Okay.
because this worries a lot of people, that when people purchase and you would see the plan, it was no larger than 2 stories, and suddenly you have a 6-story wall in front of you.
And another concern is density. You know, places that are planned for single families, you know, they join 3 of them and then they build a 24-family building. That's going to impose a high load on the municipality. You know, it's going to become like a black hole. It's going to require a lot of resources and services. And imagine all the water that they're going to need. 24 families where 3 were going to live. And that's going to take the water from all the people around. And how much trash are they going to produce on a daily basis? Where is that trash going to go? So if we go back to making the city very dense, right? Because it was originally dense, and then it was planned for areas to become less populated and less densely populated. And that's where we stand right now. But now there are some forces that want to bring it back to that, to where it was, very densely populated. But the problem is we need to make sure that to have a densely populated city, we need to accompany that with the services. We need the water, we need the roads, we need the trash services and lighting and so on. So please, let us finish with this planning. You see, a city with proper planning looks better in the future, looks better every time. A city without planning looks worse every time you go back to it. So I think Cabo needs to start looking better every time our tourists come back.
That was perfect. Perfectly said. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a great quote. Thank you, guys. This is a subject that really, really has my heart and my passion. And
Thank you.
And thank you because, like, you guys started all this to make all of our lives better.
Correct.
And it's our responsibility to back you up and help you with everything that we can. So it's a calling to all the community to join together. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Justo. Thank
Gracias,
you,
Ana.
Bea.
Gracias.
And see you next week on Los Cabos Home and Life. I'm Dana Leuenberger.
Radio diferente. Más digital que nunca. Más digital que nunca.